Once upon a time in a busy city there was a young woman named Georgina. She lived in a small apartment with a view of the train station. Every day she took the train to work. Georgina loved her job as a graphic designer, but her mornings were usually dull. She would sit in her seat with her headphones on, lost in her thoughts, watching the world go by outside the window. One rainy morning as Georgina stepped onto the train, she noticed a young man sitting across from her. He had curly brown hair and bright blue eyes. He was reading a book, and the way he smiled at the pages made Georgina curious. She took her usual seat, but she couldn't help stealing glances at him. As the train moved, the man looked up and caught her gaze. He smiled warmly and Georgina felt her cheeks flush. She quickly turned her head, pretending to be interested in her phone, but she couldn't shake off the feeling that there was something special about him. Days turned into weeks, and every time Georgina took the train she saw the young man. He was always reading and she always found herself looking at him. They never spoke, but their eyes met often. Each time Georgina felt a flutter in her heart. She learned that his name was Cristiano when she overheard someone call him that one morning. One Monday the train was unusually crowded. Georgina had to stand holding onto the overhead rail. To her surprise, Cristiano was standing close by, also holding onto the rail. Their eyes met again, and this time Cristiano smiled at her. "Looks like we're in the same boat," he said with a light laugh. Mia smiled back, her heart racing. "Yeah, it's a bit cramped," she replied. They started talking. Cristiano shared that he was a writer and he often took the train to find inspiration for his stories. Georgina told him about her job as a graphic designer and how she loved creating art. As the train rattled along, they talked and laughed, forgetting about the crowded space around them. They exchanged stories about their lives, their dreams, and their favorite books. Georgina felt a connection she had never experienced before. From that day on they became friends. They would meet on the train every morning, chatting about everything under the sun. The train rides turned from dull and routine to exciting and full of laughter. Georgina looked forward to seeing Cristiano every day. One evening as they were walking out of the station together, Cristiano asked, "Would you like to grab coffee with me sometime?" Georgina's heart skipped a beat. "Yes, I would love that," she replied, her smile wide. They decided to meet that Saturday at a small cafe near the station. Georgina spent the whole week excited and nervous about their coffee date. She chose her favorite outfit, hoping to impress Cristiano. On Saturday, Georgina arrived at the cafe early. She ordered a latte and waited anxiously when Cristiano walked in. He looked even more handsome than usual. He smiled as he saw her and waved. Georgina's heart swelled with happiness. They spent hours talking over coffee. Cristiano shared stories about his writing while Georgina talked about her design projects. They laughed, shared dreams, and talked about their favorite movies. Time flew by, and before they knew it, the sun was setting outside. As they left the cafe, Cristiano said, "I really enjoy spending time with you, Georgina. I feel like we have a special connection." Georgina blushed and replied, "I feel the same way, Cristiano. I've never met anyone like you before." From that day on, their friendship blossomed into something deeper. They started going on adventures together, exploring the city, visiting art galleries, and attending book readings. They discovered new cafes and parks, and every moment spent together felt magical. One sunny afternoon they found themselves at a park, sitting on a bench under a cherry blossom tree. The petals floated down like pink snowflakes. Georgina looked at Cristiano, feeling a rush of emotions. "I think I'm falling for you," she confessed, her voice soft. Cristiano turned to her, his eyes shining. "I was hoping you would say that," he replied, taking her hand. "I've been falling for you too." In that moment Georgina felt a warmth spread through her heart. They leaned in and shared their first kiss, surrounded by the beauty of the blossoms. As their relationship grew, they continued to take the train together. They enjoyed the daily rides filled with laughter and love, but life wasn't always easy. One day Cristiano received news that he had to move to another city for a writing opportunity. He was excited but worried about what it meant for their relationship. Georgina felt a knot in her stomach. "What will happen to us?" she asked, her voice trembling. "I don't want to lose you," she admitted. Cristiano took her hands in his. "I don't want to lose you either. We can make this work. Love is worth fighting for." They decided to try a long-distance relationship. It wouldn't be easy, but they were determined. They promised to talk every day and visit each other as often as they could. Georgina felt a mix of hope and sadness, but she knew their love was strong. As the days passed, they kept their promise. They would video call every night, sharing the days and dreams. They planned little surprises for each other, sending letters and gifts through the mail. Georgina cherished every moment, knowing they were building a future together. Months went by and Georgina missed Cristiano dearly. She would often take the train to the park where they shared their first kiss, reminiscing about the beautiful moments together. She would sit on the same bench surrounded by the cherry blossoms, dreaming of the day they would be together again. Finally, after a long wait, Cristiano came back to visit. Georgina was overjoyed. They spent every moment together, making up for lost time. They visited their favorite places, laughed, and created new memories. One evening as they walked along the river, Cristiano stopped and looked deep into Georgina's eyes. "Georgina, you are the love of my life. I want to be with you forever," he said, pulling out a small box from his pocket. Georgina's heart raced as he opened it, revealing a beautiful ring. "Will you marry me?" he asked, his voice filled with love and hope. Tears of joy filled Georgina's eyes. "Yes. "Yes, I will," she exclaimed, throwing her arms around him. They embraced, feeling a rush of happiness and love in that moment. Surrounded by the glowing lights of the city, they knew they were meant to be together. As the months passed, they planned their wedding. They chose a charming venue by the same park where they had shared their first kiss on their wedding day. Surrounded by family and friends, they exchanged vows, promising to love and support each other for the rest of their lives. As they took the train together on their honeymoon, Georgina looked at Cristiano and smiled. Their journey of love had started on that very train, and now they were embarking on a new adventure together. Love in transit had brought them closer, and they were ready to face the world hand in hand. And so Georgina and Cristiano lived happily ever after, proving that love can blossom in the most unexpected places. Their love story, which began in transit, became a beautiful journey of commitment, growth, and unending happiness.